The value is caring for the planet. Caring for the planet. That seems like an awful big word, doesn't it? Well, where does caring for the planet start? Well, it starts with each one of us. And doesn't mean we simply pick up trash. It's a little bit wider than that. A little bit broader context. Children, adults alike, need a healthy planet. It has an immediate influence on the destiny of humankind. Little things add up, in other words. Little things add up. Enhance human health. The state of the environment plays a huge role in overall health. Outdoor pollution can lead to harmful diseases such as asthma, bronchitis. Oh, that's just pollution. But what about cancer and all these other terrible diseases that are caused by an imbalance in the outer environment that now throws our inner environment out of balance? It's not just airborne things. It's the environment as a whole. Now what does that mean? How can we help? How can we as small little individuals help in the stewardship or caring for the planet? Well, for starters, you can do it right here on campus. How often have you seen a piece of trash laying on the ground and just walk by it? Well, somebody else will pick it up. That's not caring for the planet. That's just plain being lazy. I think many of you see me out on the playground picking up pieces of trash. What I say, I do. Because I believe, not just as an intellectual thought, but I believe personally that if I can pick up that one piece of trash, that one piece of trash is no longer in my environment to detract from the beauty of the campus and to a very small extent the world in which I live. So here's the thing. If you're walking around and you see pieces of anything that, I use a little mantra. And the mantra that I use is, if it isn't growing, pick it up. If it's not growing, pick it up. Put it in the bin. It doesn't take much, but if you establish that habit, you're going to establish a habit of caring for your environment, of doing some simple thing like picking up a piece of trash. That's one thing, okay? Just keeping your area clean. Around your house. If you see people have thrown trash around your front yard, don't just walk over the top of it. Now your front yard looks like a trash heap. Pick it up, get a rake, do something. Make it beautiful. You live there. It doesn't take long, 15 minutes. How long does it take to rake up a little bit of trash and make your area beautiful? It doesn't take long. Another way of helping the environment, and that is how we act and interact with all the creatures of this world. Generally, we feel that we're the biggest, baddest creatures on the planet, and all the other little creatures have to bow down to us. They're just things for us to step on, to abuse, to use the way we want to, and not think of them as forms of life at all, but just something for us to amuse us or for us to use them for some perverted pleasure. I can't tell you the amount of disgust that I feel when I see people doing that. Kill for the sake of killing. That just disgusts me. Let's say there's a little ant walking down the street, or a bug, and somebody will go out of their way to go over and step on the bug. Well, why? Was that bug harming you? Are you that much better than a bug? To other creatures in this world, and maybe other worlds, you're less than that bug. You better hope they don't look at you like that, because you might wind up on their boot heel. So respect life. There's a yogic word called ahimsa. Ahimsa. Do no harm. Do no harm doesn't mean you don't protect yourself if your life is in danger, but do not do needless harm of any sort. Needless harm. If you see some poor little animal that's hungry or thirsty, see if you can find a little bit of water and give it to them. See if you can find a scrap of food, if it's not too far out of your way, and help them. Because we're connected to all creatures, and all creatures are connected to us in one way or another. And as we treat other creatures, so nature treats us. Because these are children of nature. They don't yet have the ability to reason as we do. They have run according to natural law of instinct. And as such, are ruled by natural forces. Call them deities, if you will. So, try to help some poor little creature if you can. It breaks my heart to see something hungry and limping, and I might not be able to do much, but I might be able to do something. It might not be worth anything, but I can try anyway. I'm not looking to the results of action. I'm just coming from a place of compassion that I can help this little creature. Maybe make their suffering a little less in their life. They feel, they get angry, they are sad, just like we are. It's only their capacity to express it is less than ours because of their makeup of their nervous system. But I can tell you for a fact from owning many dogs and other animals that their range of emotions is just as wide as mine. I wish I could show you my little dog where, at night she'll crawl up around the top of my pillow and lay her head down on my shoulder, showing affection, showing love. And she does that not because I called her. Well, no, I think she was coming for the Oreo cookie. But besides that, she's very affectionate. She knows that I give her love, she gives me love in return. We play together. And I could tell when she's laughing. Her mouth opens wide and it looks like a laugh in a doggy way. And her little tail wags back and forth. They have a different language, but that language speaks volumes if you took the time to learn the language of animals. So, be kind to creatures. Help them if you can, let them alone if you can't. But never, ever do meaningless harm. That is a sin, and you will pay for it. You may not think so, but I guarantee you will. Now, protect the environment. The way we treat the environment has a direct impact on the world's most valuable species. And if we want to protect these special animals, we must strive to preserve their natural habitats. Well, that means don't plow under everything that may be used for grazing or that animals use as their home. it's not necessarily all about us being productive. It's about what impact am I going to have on the local population of maybe many species of animals. It needs to be considered. It's not just, hey, I'm a man and I need this to make money, ply you under faster than you can shake a stick. No, that's doing needless harm without checking to see if there's another way. In the end, there may not be another way, or maybe you can alter your way of doing it where it won't have as much impact. But do try at least. The environment will appreciate your efforts. Nature will appreciate your efforts. And that will show up in how nature treats you as well. Resources are getting more scarce and more scarce. We're not talking just things like metals and coal and copper, uranium, things like this, which they are, petroleum, but also our animal resources. We keep tearing up their habitats. We keep cutting down the forests where they live. We keep plowing up the fields where they eat without thinking of the damage that we're doing. So many species have gone extinct because we've literally plowed them into extinction. And that's a great shame. So if you ever find yourself in a position where people are telling you to go clear cut this area, find out the impact of that to the natural resources, whether it's water resources, whether it's animal resources, regardless. Take some time and think, how is this going to affect the environment? And if you determine that one way will be very bad and another way won't be quite as bad, then always go for the lesser of two evils if you cannot eliminate it. Do your best. So I would say that minimizing food waste may seem a silly thing to do, but don't take more than you can eat. Take a small plate to begin with. Then, if you want a little bit more, add a little more. Don't pile your plate up and realize you can't eat it and then wind up throwing half of it away. It's a terrible waste of resources. Terrible waste of food that somebody who has less than you could have used. So, again, it's a matter of conscious thinking about the environment in which you live and in the dimensions in which you can affect it. Okay? So, CK? Where's CK now? She can do the summary. Any questions?